Good afternoon. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. Lately, the trilogy novel To All the Boys Have Loved Before by Jenny Han has become one of 16 must-read books in 2021 according to TV Guide, and has been popular among young adult novel fans. I'm sure that many of you have read this book, because today we will be discussing about the second book To All the Boys Have Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You. Why Lara Jean and Peter broke up even though they love each other. By the end of this seminar, you will have a more critical way of thinking to take more variables into consideration when a conflict happens instead of only blaming one person. We are blessed to welcome Miss Sekar Sari Kencana, Miss Rema Savira Tadete, and Miss Suseno in a special occasion. Currently pursuing their advanced study of American literature, Miss Kencana and Miss Tadete are two best students of Harvard University in 2020. And Miss Suseno is known as a young motivational speaker. In this special occasion, our speakers will be sharing with us their analysis of the conflicts in the sequel P.S. I Still Love You, and giving some tips for better relationship. With that, I ask you to give your full attention to our first speaker, Miss Kencana, and help me welcoming her to the stage. Miss Kencana.
Good morning everyone, I hope you all have an amazing day today. I'm Devany and I'm very honored to be standing here today in front of all of you. So, today we're gonna be talking about the novel P.S. I Still Love You. I think you guys have heard about this novel because it's very popular. And it's basically about the teenagers who fell in love with each other. And it's actually a sequel from a novel To All the Boys I Have Loved Before, written by Jenny Han. So, the main characters in this story are Peter Kapinski, Laura Jean, Peter's new girlfriend, and Genevieve, Peter's ex-girlfriend. In the previous novel, Laura Jean and Peter Kapinski pretended to be a couple to make Genevieve jealous. But soon later, they both realized that they already fell for each other, so then they become a real couple as a girlfriend and boyfriend. However, some struggle appears as they start their new chapter of life as partner. If we analyze closer and deeper, we can see that each character causes or influences certain problem in the story. And today, I will elaborate one specific character, Peter Kapinski, and point out his mistakes that cause some problem. And the other many characters will be analyzed by my friends. So, in this story, Peter Kapinski is a teenage boy and is a popular kid in his school. He dates Laura Jean. And as I already mentioned before, his relationship with Laura doesn't go really well as what it has to be. And if we look closer from Peter's side, I can see one thing that can be the main reason why their relationship doesn't go really well, which is dishonest. A part which shows this dishonesty is when the Valentine days, so he made a poem for Laura Jean, but he never admitted that the poem wasn't made by him. She was really overjoyed by that. She was really happy because no one ever gave that kind of letter to her. When she found out about the poem, she was really disappointed. This can be seen on page 119. I can't believe this, but he told me that he wrote it for me. I was so happy to receive that poem. No one had ever written me a love poem before, and now it turns out that it was plagiarized and knocked up. Of course, she was really disappointed. Another action of dishonest shown by Peter when the hot tub video of him and Laura spread around the school. He knew exactly that the person behind the video was Janet, but he never wanted to tell Laura about it. He purposely did it in order to protect Janet. And when Laura Jean found out about this video and the truth behind it, she was furious. This can be seen on page 150. So at some point, you found out the truth and you didn't tell me. It's hard to breathe. You know how upset I was and you kept defending her. And then you found out the truth and you never told me. From these sentences, we can see that Peter often dishonest toward his girlfriend. And that's the main point what I find to be the most and to be the main specific reason why the relationship doesn't go really well. So yeah, I think that's all for me. Thank you so much.
That was indeed a great view. After Miss Kencana shares her analysis on the male lead, Peter, let's look forward to some more views of the conflict. Why Larachin and Peter broke up even though they love each other. It is time for Miss Tadete to express her views of what the female lead Larachin and the antagonist Genevieve have done related to this problem. We are going to see whether or not those are the causes of this conflict. Miss Tadete.
Hello, my name is Rema Savira Tadete. So let's continue our discussion about the conflict in this story. Next character will be discussed is Larachin. Larachin is one of the main character in this story. She is Peter's girlfriend and also Jean's ex-best friend. Almost the whole story is explained through Larachin's point of view. And of course, the cause of conflict in the story is inseparable from Larachin herself. Larachin always felt insecure about her relationship with Peter, and she always compared herself with Jean, who is Peter's ex-girlfriend. Larachin herself admitted that she had always been comparing herself and Jean. We can see in page 202, Lara said, quote, "But that isn't true. It's only then that I realized Peter wasn't the one who needed to get over Genevieve. It was me. All this time with Peter, I've been comparing myself to her. All the ways I don't measure up, all the ways our relationship pales next to theirs. I'm the one who couldn't let her go, and I'm the one who didn't give us a chance." Also in page 63, we can see Lara mention Jean when she talked with Peter and compared Jean and Peter's past relationship with her and Peter's current relationship. Another proof can be seen in page 103, where she and Peter almost have sex. She thinks about the size of her boobs and comparing her boobs to Jean's, and she thought Jean's boobs were bigger than hers and was afraid Peter would feel disappointed, so she quickly said she wasn't ready. Larachin also accused Peter of missing sex. Well, we know when Peter and Jean were together, they had sex all the time, but Peter immediately denied. Larachin's sense of insecurity certainly have a cause. The reason is Peter, who still looked close to Jean, his ex-girlfriend. The closeness of Peter and Jean can be seen in page 88. Quote, "But when I walk in, he already there, standing by the vending machines with Genevieve. He has his hands on her shoulders and he is talking to her intently. She's nodding, her ass downcast." Their closeness made Lara feel a little bit jealous. We can clearly saw it in this quote. "Here it is, Valentine's Day, and I feel like I'm interacting my boyfriend and his ex-girlfriend. Is he really just being a good friend to her, or is it something more? With her, I feel like it's always something more, whether he knows it or not. Have they exchanged Valentine's gift for old-time shake? Is that me being paranoid, or is that a thing that exes who still friends do?" On page 137, also mentioned Peter and Jean are still in good touch, and even Jean are always beside Peter. Quote, Chris says, I haven't been able to get him because he always with fucking Jean, and I thought for sure Jean had me. And also in page 147, quote, I see her car first, parked on the street in front of his house. The next thing I see is two of them standing together on the street for all to see. He has his arms wrapped around her. She is leaning into him like she can't stand on her own 2 feet. Her face is buried in his chest. He is saying something in her ear, patting her hair tenderly. We clearly see that they are really close, and that's make Lara feel jealous and insecure. Lara doubts may also have been caused because Peter never said love to her or mentioned love stuff to her. The proof is on page 63. He said, quote, right away I wish I didn't say in love because Peter's never said anything about being in love with me. But it is too late. The words are already out of my mouth, so I just press on and hope he didn't catch it. That's all explanation that I have for you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for sharing your views. Now we learn that there is not only one person, nor only one thing to cause this problem. And by the points our speakers have presented, we can apply them to our social life. How to have a better relationship. Next, I would like to call on the stage the young motivational speaker, Miss Suseno.
Well, hello everyone. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Andini Suseno. I am a psychologist who focuses in mental health studies, especially for teenager. So yeah, I'm in here. I'm gonna talk about Jen. I'm mostly gonna talk about her, and also I'm gonna give you a little bit lesson what we can get from this novel. So let's get started. So basically Jen is Peter's ex. She's been the biggest insecurity of Lara. Because of what? Because Lara still thinks that they're still close. But actually that's the fact. They're still close. And here I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about Jen's mistake that make the story being more complicated and sometimes hard to understand. First one is Jen is an egoist person because she always wants to be the one, and she also still cannot move on from Peter, and she always wants to show to Lara Jen that she and Peter is still close. The second one is Jen for forgetting Lara. I will read some conversation between of them. It's between Jen and Peter. She said, you came running off the field and you kissed me in front of your mom, remember? Then in a soft voice, Jen said to Peter, can I keep it? She said that with the purpose to make Lara more jealous, of course. And the second proof came in the conversation between Lara and Jen. And the conversation is, that boy, it's mean Peter, always running late. Tell him I'll call him tonight. Wow. This proved that she still wants to be remembered by Peter. And she wants to show to Lara that they're still close. They're still having relationship, even if it's just a friend. But yeah, anyways, this novel is the one of the best novel that I've read, because this novel is kind of easy to understand and also really relatable in daily life, especially for teenager life. And mostly of the teenager is past this moment in life, like losing some friends because of a boy, and then get some insecurities, and also wants to be alone, get overthinking. I think all of the teenager, not only teenager, is past this moment in life. So in psychology, there is a study called self-disclosure. What is self-disclosure? Self-disclosure is an aspect to developing closeness and intimacy with others, especially for a romantic partner. As we can see from the story from the novel, Lara and Peter didn't do that because they just think negative each other, get overthinking about that, and make an unhealthy relationship because of that. So in daily life, in daily basis, if you feeling that you're full of burden or you want to talk to someone, just talk. Choose the right person that you can talk about this, and share your burden, share your thought, because it will make sense with your mental health. Don't keep the burden by yourself. Okay? And then the second lesson that we can learn from this story is don't need to be insecure. Lara always get insecure because of she think that she didn't deserve Peter. Why? Maybe it's because she thinks that she's not beautiful or something like that. But don't need to insecure, because you are perfect version of you. You don't need to compare yourself with the other, and you just perfect because of you. You're a perfect version of you, and no need to worry about other people thought about you. Anyways, I think that's all that I can say from the story. This novel is such good novel that full of moral values that we can learn. Yeah, so last but not least, I'm gonna remind you, it's okay to be not perfect. Don't compare yourself with other. You are a perfect version of you. No need to be insecure, and live your life. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll see you later. Thank you.
What an empowering speech. Thank you, Miss Suseno. Unfortunately, this seminar is not broadcasted live, so our audiences can send their questions at real time. But don't worry, you can type your questions in the comment box later, and our speakers will answer it within 24 hours. Moreover, now I have some questions that you might be wondering about, so our speakers can answer it right away. Let's get into the first question. It is from Miss Kencana. You said that the relationship doesn't go as well as it should be. Alright, we always expect a great relationship when we start, but the thing is, they're still teenagers. Does a relationship among teenagers usually go well? I mean, you were once a teenager.
Okay, so I personally think that it really depends on the individuals in that relationship. It doesn't even matter if you're like a teenager or like you're an adult. No one can say that only at certain age that then you will have a good relationship. No one can ensure that. So it really depends on the individual, because each of the individuals in that relationship will influence on how the relationship will go. Even if it will go well or not, it really depends on the individuals in that relationship itself.
And there's a scene when Peter read a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. Since you are studying American literature, we would love to hear your comments about it. And would someone get any problem for doing plagiarism, like reading someone else's poem to a girlfriend? Other than relationship problem.
So I don't see it as a problem in a way that causes copyright infringement penalty, since he only wrote that poem for Largin as Valentine's Day gift. And he actually never claimed that the work was made by him. The only reason why it was a big deal in their relationship, because she expected or she thought that the poem was made by him, that made it so special, and turned out that it wasn't. So yeah, that's a big deal for their relationship. But I think it's gonna be a different thing when, for example, he posted that poem in his social medias and then he claimed that it was made by him without giving any credit to the writer. So I think it's a big deal. But since he never done something like that, so I don't think it's a big problem.
Thank you, Miss Kencana. Now moving on to Miss Tadete. The story is his first-person point of view and can make the readers feel what Largin feels, right? Many of our audiences might feel like that Peter doesn't seem to love Lara, who is his girlfriend. But by the end, we know that he does. We show some signs in the middle of the story, when there's still a thing, that Peter actually loves Lara, and that we can understand how the guys actually feel deep down in the heart before it's too late.
The proof Peter loves Lara, Jean, we can see it in page 89 when Peter gave a necklace to Lara Jean for Valentine's gift. A necklace is quite pricey, so Peter loves Lara, because if he's not, Peter will not give expensive gift to her. And also he gave her a poem, but it's not original work from Peter, so but it still shows Peter love Lara Jean. Also in page 63, when Peter says Lara is different from the others, his relationship to Lara and his relationship to Jean are very different. His relationship with Jean was very complicated, and Peter considered his relationship with Lara to be more special. It shows Peter loves Lara more. Another proof can be seen in page 202, where Peter himself admits that he loves Lara. Quote, "You are not first," Peter says, "but you are the most special to me because you are the girl I love, Lara Jean." And also he says, "I'm saying you drive me more crazy than any girl I've ever met." According to Peter, Lara is more special than Jean, who is his first love, because Lara is the person that he loves now.
Thank you, Miss Tadete. Now, Miss Suseno, the first question for you is high school a good time to build a romantic relationship? What do you think about it?
So I'm gonna try to answer the questions from them. See, is high school is a good time to build a romantic relationship? What do you think about it? Okay. I think the answer may be yes, because high school is the best time to grow. Like in high school, we're mostly in 17 age. Is it a time to think what we want to do, what we want to do in the future, and something like that? I think that will be the best time to being a romantic relationship with someone, because a romantic relationship is important too, because when you're in high school, you're gonna think that you like someone, you fallen in love with someone, and that's very, very normal. So I think the answer may be yes, but you should have to know where's the important thing. Is it your study, your future, or your partner? So if you can to choose them all, and you can take your time to focus on your study and also your romantic relationship, I think that's okay. But if you just focus on your future for your school and you don't want to be in a relationship, that's okay too. So that just your choices, your what will you choose, to be in a relationship or just focus in the future. But actually, for all of them, I think it's normal and it's okay if you can spend your time together and doesn't crack your school. I think that's normal and that's okay.
About insecurity. Do you find a lot of teenagers who have insecurities these days? If you do, what makes them feel so?
So for the next questions, yeah, I found so many people, so many teenagers especially, that full of insecurities this day. Like Lara Jen, that she's insecure because she thinks that she didn't deserve Peter, but actually she deserved it. Just remember that all of you are deserve all the kind of love in this world. You deserved it because you're loved. No need to be insecure. Maybe some teenagers this day are insecure about their future, what can they be in the future, or about their parents, how to make them proud, about friends, how to be accepted in the circle of friendship, or something like that. Like Lara, I think Lara have some insecurities about that too. But you don't have to be insecure because you're perfect. You're a perfect version of you. Just remember that you're perfect, but you have your own or version of perfect. So don't need to be insecure. I remind you again, because all of the teenagers are insecure this day. No need to be insecure. You don't have to do that.
One last thing. To all of you, our beloved speakers, please say a short message to everybody in this forum.
A message from me personally that I get from this story is not to focus too much at your partner's past and give complete trust to your partner. One of the keys to succeeding in a relationship is mutual trust. A relationship that is based on mutual trust will last forever. Thank you so much.
To make sure that you choose the right partner to make a good relationship, and then you have to make sure that you yourself are ready for the relationship, so you can make it balance between both of you.
Last part, I will remind you to have your own book list. You have to read books because book is the window of the world.
Read books. What a fun talk. That's all for now. Thank you. And thank you to all of you for being here today. I really appreciate that you took the time to be here and listen to this seminar. If you have any questions related to this topic, please type it on the comment box below. And see you on the next seminar.